I just wanted to make this quick video on some thoughts I've been having, um, and I wrote them down. So I'll read them. Yes, it's kind of related to Kendrick, but I don't want this to be like a Kendrick channel. This is not a Kendrick Lamar channel. I guess I'm going to make this a music channel, or just something where I just talk about whatever I want to talk about. And since I am a musician first and foremost, and an artist, music is usually what I end up thinking about the most. But anyways, to what I wanted to share is back when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, I had the entire album on repeat for weeks. It changed my life, but my sister, who is 4 years younger than me, she hadn't listened to it yet. And I asked her why, and she told me she was afraid. I never really delved further as far as finding out like what she was afraid of until about a couple weeks ago. 10 years later. Also, about a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago, my wife asked me what my favorite Kendrick song is, and I have too many to name. I don't think I have like one favorite Kendrick song. There's just so many that I love. So the first one that popped into my head when she asked me that question was "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst," and she wanted me to play it for her. So I played it for her, but to my surprise and disappointment, she didn't really react that well to it, and it was because she said it was very heavy and it made her feel depressed. Um, if you listen to Good Kid, Mad City, if you listen to Sing About Me, then you know that the subject matter of that song is very heavy. It's very deep, and in some ways sad, um, but also extremely powerful. And so my wife's reaction to that song made me go and ask my sister if she could explain further, like why she was afraid back then to listen to Pimp a Butterfly. And she said, I'm going to quote what she wrote me. She said, "I was scared because I knew the depth in which the meaning of the album would be. I knew once I listened to it, I'd never be the same again, and my mind would be opened more to a part of myself that I'd suppressed most of my life that I knew was there. That my blackness would be awakened, and my awareness of my own experiences and everyone else's experiences would be made aware to me. And that this was not an album that would just make me nod my head to, but it was to have multiple layers of meaning. Meanings I would understand and uncover. That's why I was afraid. Ignorance is bliss, and blissful ignorance is a type of hell when made aware." So after she sent me that got me thinking more about music, more specifically rap. As I said before, I'm an artist, a musician, a creative. I haven't been successful in either of these things yet, mostly due to my own fault. Me holding myself back, always wanting to everything to be perfect, and if something's not perfect, then I don't want to put it out. Which I'm sure there are people out there who can attest to that. It sucks being a perfectionist, but it's always been important to me that no matter what genre of music I listen to, that it makes me feel something. I think ultimately that's why I love music, because it makes me feel something. But if I'm not feeling anything when I'm listening to a song, then I feel like it's a waste of my time, which is why I'm not usually not the biggest fan of a lot of mainstream pop music, because a lot of it is very cookie cutter, very basic, very boring, and doesn't activate my mind. It doesn't make me think in any way. It doesn't make me feel anything. And doesn't even make me want to get up and dance sometimes. You know, it's just whatever. So when it comes to Kendrick's music, while Kendrick's music is usually heavy, you have songs off of GNX like Peekaboo or Hey Now that like aren't as like heavy, but still lyrical, but fun. They're bops. You know, you can bump them in the whip and everything like that. They're heavy on bass, all that stuff like that. So Kendrick has that, but he also has a lot of deep and heaviness to his lyrics, especially when it comes to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, an album that by the time I got to the end of it, I actually cried. Mother I Sober is a song that did it. And I've never cried. There's not been a song to this day or an album that has ever made me cry before until uh, Mother I Sober. Um, Extremely powerful song. That whole album is absolutely phenomenal. But whether it's joy, sadness, fear, remembering pain, solidarity in the struggle of a black man's existence, just being black and existing in the world, but also being a black man and existing in the world. Or just basically, if a song makes you just gives you the stank face from the nastiness of the bars, the wordplay, the double, triple, quadruple entendres, if you can pick them up, like Kendrick always makes you feel something in his music. For me, the heavier, the better. While some people may find certain songs hard to listen to, because of how deep, or maybe they might wake up some emotional trauma in them or whatever. I live for that, because in the real world, out here, it's just the rat race. Especially if you aren't rich. If you're just a regular 9 to 5er, that's all we do. We get up, we go to work, we spend the majority of our day at work. We're exhausted. When we come home, we do whatever chores, cooking, whatever, feeding the dogs, whatever your routine is. When you come home, you veg out, you go to bed, rinse and repeat. There's hardly time or motivation to do something outside of that. Being creative, working on something new, expanding your mind, learning new ideas, spending time with your loved ones, your wife, your husband, or whatever. Our life revolves around working for someone else and making money for them, because really that's the only way to survive. And especially in these days, everybody's just one paycheck away from being homeless. I can definitely say, I lost 3 jobs last year, which is insane. Never happened to me before in my life. So last year was really rough. It was an up and down struggle. And also being married, as a man, you feel like, it's our number one responsibility to provide, even if our wife does have a job. And some people may see that as misogynistic, but I'm a black man. It's how I was raised. My dad always worked. He always held down a job, more than one job, possibly. And did what he had to do to make ends meet. Even if my mom was working, my dad still did what he had to do. So that's what I know. And that's what a lot of other black men know growing up, seeing our fathers work. So that's what we know to do. Go out and work, make some money, provide for your family. So when you listen to rap, when you listen to artists like Kendrick, or you listen to artists like Jid or J. Cole or Nas, a Little Brother, I could name a ton. You can relate. As a black man, you can relate. But it's not even just relating in that way. I believe that music in general can always make you feel something. I feel like emotions can be conveyed not through just words, but also sound. There are a lot of times when I listen to music that I envision colors. I envision emotions. I may envision a setting or a backdrop. You can see colors with music. You can feel things with music, and it doesn't have to have words. There's a reason why when in my opinion, my favorite electronic music group of all time is Daft Punk. Even going away from electronic dance music, look at Nujabes. Look at Jay Dilla. Nujabes music is still heavily lauded to this day. Like, people say it's like the origin of lo-fi hip-hop. I'm not even going to get into that because that'll just piss me off. But his music is still praised and listened to this day. And hardly any of it has words. So no, you don't need words in order to feel something from music. Music itself can convey emotions. In music that I've produced, I've gone into making songs that have no words, but I'm pouring whatever I'm feeling into that song. And I don't know if people that hear the music, if they can feel what I'm trying to convey or not. I don't know that, but I know that whenever I've made an album, or a song, I'm putting my feelings or emotions into it. And when I make an album, I sequence the songs in a specific order because I'm always telling a story, even if there's no words. I could be trying to tell a story with the sample. I could have a sample in a song that is repeating a phrase or something like that, but it means something. I have that in there for a reason. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. But I feel like rap is probably the most personal and intimate genre of music because it is literally the rapper themselves that are telling you their story, their life, their thoughts, their opinions, their ideas, political beliefs. They're speaking on current events, whatever's going on in the world, etc. They're giving you a piece of themselves. And this is why ghostwriting is looked so down upon in rap. And I feel like in the era of Drake and beyond, a lot of these kids don't really understand the art form of hip hop and why Drake was like being crapped on because of ghostwriting allegations. The reason why is because we listen to you as a rapper because we want to hear you speak. We want to hear your life, your experiences, whatever you're talking about. If you're bragging, boasting, talking about clubbing, whatever it is, deep or not deep, we want your words to be authentically from you, especially if you claim to be a lyrical rapper or a talented rapper. And if somebody else is writing your words, then who am I listening to? Who even are you? And this is, I'm not even trying to just take shots at Drake, but this is to anyone that has ghostwriters in hip hop, famous or not. You've got it all wrong if you're using someone else's lyrics in your raps. It's no longer, to me, it's no longer rap. Basically, to wrap this up, I love music so much. Music has always been extremely important to me, all the way from when I was a kid. I would listen to all the gospel music my parents would be playing, and I would love the different sounds I was hearing, the way their voices sounded, the different chords or whatever. I didn't know there were chords back then. I used to make beats with my mouth. I used to beat on the desk with a pencil, making beats like that. A lot of black kids did that. I don't know if they still do that in school, but that was always a thing. I just have always loved music my entire life. I love it dearly. I'm passionate about music. And I feel like one of the reasons why is because it makes you feel something. It's one of the few things in this world that makes me feel something. And it goes beyond just a limited experience, like playing a video game. You can escape the world for a few hours when you're playing a video game, or watching a movie. You can escape the world for a few hours. Reading a book, you can escape the world for a few hours. But I feel like with music, it stays with you, because when you put down those headphones, for me at least, whatever I've been listening to, it's still in my head. I can still hear the music in my head. I'm always thinking about music because I make it. So it's such an integral part of my life and who I am that it's just I just love it so much because it's just a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, it's a universal language that every human on the planet can speak. I mean, going back to Kendrick, look at Not Like Us. That song's being played literally all over the world. All over the world. You know, rap battle aside, Drake diss aside, PDF allegations aside, it is an example of how far music can reach and the amount of people it can reach. And, you know, one of my dreams has always been to share my music with the world. You know, if I could somehow make a living off of making music and I could do shows for free, every one of my shows would be free, so anyone and everyone could come. Music is more than just a commodity. It's more than just streaming numbers, record sales, Grammy awards. It's more than that. It's an art form. Rap is an art form. Music in general is an art form, and it needs to be respected as such. And I'll wrap this up with the quote from Kendrick.
At the end of the day, nothing more powerful than rap music. I don't care what it is. We are the culture that's gonna always stay here and live forever. And to the young artists, like my man Punch say, I just hope you respect the art form. That's all. Respect the art form, get you where you need to go.